Virgin Voyages has already gained a reputation for their innovative take on what a cruise experience should be like. And that does not stop at the food and drink offerings on board. One really great thing about cruising with Virgin is all of the 20+ dining venues are included in the price of the cruise. So if you're not familiar with cruising, let me just tell you that that's quite different than it is on other mainstream cruise lines. If you cruise with Royal Caribbean, if you cruise with NCL, there are only going to be a small number of restaurants included in the price of your cruise, small but adequate, let's say that. And then many other restaurants on board will be offered at an additional cost. So it's quite a big deal that Virgin offers such a large variety and everything is included. Even though we were only on the Valiant Lady for 5 nights, we still did our best to try to visit all of the restaurants, and I picked out 3 to showcase to you in this video. If the restaurant that you're looking for isn't featured, then just let me know in the comments below and I will try to answer your questions anyways. Before we get into the food, if you don't know who I am, I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. I travel all around the world of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it was like to be there. If you like stories about things going right and sometimes horribly wrong while traveling, check out my book called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. It's available on Amazon now. The first dining venue I want to talk about is called Pink Agave, and before we get into it, let me just remind you that when it comes to food, a lot of this is really opinion-based. What tastes good to me might not taste good to you, and that really has nothing to do with it being good or bad. When it comes to food, if it's well prepared, how can you even prove if something is good or bad? It's just a matter of if it tastes good to you or not. So the things that I'm talking about here are purely my opinion. It's not me trying to convince you that any of these restaurants are better or worse than any other restaurant. Got it? The atmosphere in Pink Agave seems very high-end. It's dimly lit, the tables are kind of cozy, and there are a lot of darker natural colors used in the design. I enjoyed the atmosphere and felt comfortable inside this venue. The menu features Virgin's take on modern Mexican-inspired cuisine, and as you're reading through the menu, you might notice something missing in comparison to your favorite Mexican restaurant back home. Yep. There are no burritos, no quesadillas, no tacos, and no nachos with melted cheese. Those sort of staples of Mexican food that you will find at basically any other popular Mexican restaurant are missing from the menu here at Pink Agave, and it's a choice that I don't necessarily understand. And this kind of decision making kind of threads its way through the entire Virgin experience, taking something that's familiar and popular in the mainstream and then changing it to make it seem different. In my opinion, just changing it to make it different doesn't automatically make it better. You know what I mean? I love Mexican food, and I know a lot of you do too, so let's just go through a hypothetical situation. Pretend I told you I wanted to take you out for Mexican dinner tonight. You might think, okay, great, let's go. But before we left, I told you, okay, we're gonna go to Mexican, but you can't order nachos, quesadillas, tacos, or burritos. Do you still wanna go? I guess I kind of have a problem with them pushing this as a Mexican restaurant and then not offering any of the popular, well-known Mexican dishes that I think most people would expect when they go to a Mexican restaurant. If I had to pick 2 highlights from our experience in Pink Agave, one would be this spicy trail mix that we devoured. I think we actually had 2 bowls of that. And the other are the Choco Tacos that were offered for dessert. They were so good, very rich, very sweet, very tasty. Speaking of dessert, this is the other chocolate dessert. Anybody else see it? Moving on. One of the other signature dining experiences on board is called Test Kitchen. Sorry about the flashing lights, it doesn't look like that in real life. The atmosphere inside Test Kitchen is completely opposite than Pink Agave. It is very light, there are large tables and booths where you may have to sit with strangers, and the colors are bright and cold with a lot of stainless steel. Another question for you, when you look at this design and these colors and these materials together, does it remind you of any place? I'm not gonna tell you what I thought, I wanna know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. The food in Test Kitchen is a fixed 6-course menu, and if you're looking at the menu to sort of figure out what it is it's gonna be, you're not gonna get a lot of information because all that's listed is, I'm gonna read it here, mushroom, egg, beef, blue cheese, and chocolate. That's what the menu says. The vegetarian menu is gazpacho, egg, asparagus, tart, mandarin, and coconut. And of course, the server will explain everything to you when you get there. The food we were served in Test Kitchen was visually very spectacular, and you are definitely gonna wanna bring your camera with you. Sauces were poured, smoke was wafted, each glass, each dish, each piece of silverware had a unique design, and some of the things are really cool to look at. Not everything wowed us with intense flavors, but it was obvious that a lot of work went into creating and preparing many of these dishes, which is something that we really appreciated. I mean, look at how small and detailed some of these veggies are cut. And it's like a work of art. If you like spicy food or bold flavors, the menu here might leave you wishing you had packed some hot sauce or maybe soy sauce in your bag, but all in all, the experience was very interesting, and remember, it's included in the price of the cruise. This kind of signature dining on other cruise lines carries a high price tag. One of the best examples I can think of is the Wonderland concept on Royal Caribbean. So once again, the fact that this is included in the price of the cruise makes it a pretty cool thing. The final restaurant I wanted to highlight in this video is called Gunbae, and it is the Korean barbecue restaurant that's tucked back in one corner of the buffet. The atmosphere inside this venue is very vibrant, and it's very loud inside. The serving staff will come around and sing songs with you and make you play drinking games before the food gets there, so just be ready to have some fun. The menu in Gunbae is quite extensive. There are vegetarian options, there are meaty options, there are seafood options. This is the place to go when you have a very large appetite because everybody kind of shares everything, and you're gonna get the chance to try things even if you didn't order them specifically. We each only ordered 1 or 2 things from the menu, and at the end there was so much food on the table. This is another one of the restaurants on board where you will most likely be seated with other cruisers, so if you'd rather be alone, make sure you specify that when you make your reservation. Another tip I can give you is don't wear your nicest clothes when you go to this restaurant. Unlike other show cooking barbecues where the chef is behind sort of a square grill and then the guests are seated a little bit further away on 3 sides, at Gunbae, the grill is right in the middle of the table, and the distance that you're sitting to this grill it's not very far away. The cook is also standing right there with you at the table and is reaching over you to cook on the grill, to serve the food to other people, and even though there is a large fan that's pulling the smoke up, we still smelled like fried food when we left there, and the fat from the meat and everything is sputtering everywhere. The table was full of grease by the time we left, and I'm sure some of that was on our clothes as well. So just remember, don't wear your nicest things and plan to be stuffed when you leave. But make sure you save room for dessert because the black sesame ice cream was so good. I want some more of it right now.
Right now.
There are like 16 other dining options on board, including Italian, including gelato, including the buffet style galley restaurant area, and I've talked about I think every single one of those in my daily videos from our cruise on Valiant Lady. So if you want some more information, you can either write a question down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you, or you can watch the daily vlog videos that have been on the channel for the last couple of weeks. And before you leave this final video about our experience with Virgin Voyages, please give me a thumbs up before you go. That really helps. And in just a few days, the first video from our cruise with the Queen Mary 2, this luxurious ocean liner from Cunard, will be going online. So make sure you check back for that in a few days, and members at patreon.com/veryunofficial will be getting that in advance. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. See you soon.